Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. I would like to welcome you to this week's edition of The Other Side of Midnight. Tim Hayes is already backstage. I'm going to bring him out in a moment. And also in the chat, Faithful Wrench, Connie Cleary. All right, so we made it through another week. Got some film cancellations to talk about. We suffered a loss in our fellowship. Going to talk about that. And whatever pops into our heads and whoever shows up. So stay tuned. All right. Tim Hayes.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How is it on the West Coast?
It's been a little bit hot.
Oh, same here. Same here. All right. So, how was your weekend?
A little tiring. I slept in on Saturday, and today I woke up I fell asleep on the sofa, and I woke up early, but then I felt like just going back to sleep, and I slept most of the day because I was just not in a good mood. I was not awake, and I just felt really crummy. It just seems so much insanity going on social media right now.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what platform you're on, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it really matters anymore, because what'll happen is someone will be on multiple social media sites, and then if somebody starts arguing with them, like on Twitter, then those posts will get screen capped and shared to Facebook, and they might get screen capped and shared elsewhere. So I don't think it really matters anymore.
Yeah, but I don't involve myself in that sort of thing. That's my point, you know. If somebody is going to get so upset over something that somebody says on one platform that they're going to spread it out onto others just so they can argue some more, I don't see the point in that.
Well, the one that was sharing it wasn't the problem. The person in the post that was arguing was acting like a complete moron, and then started acting like he was better than everybody else.
Oh, so what were they saying?
Oh, it was something over the Dial of Destiny soundtrack.
Oh.
First it was all, oh, where's the link? And then this person, my friend, told him, I just shared it, stupid. Well, he didn't say stupid, but this person was basically being stupid because the link to it was right in front of him. But then he was all, oh, calm down, dude.
Yeah,
and I think he tried.
It's not that good of a movie, and honestly, the music isn't that good. So,
well, the soundtrack is worth getting because it's probably be John Williams' last score that he does for a movie. Even though the movie's bad, it'll have John Williams music. So it's worth getting just for John Williams' music, the soundtrack, not the movie.
Yeah. The thing with me with that movie is it was so it just went in one ear and out the other with me. I don't even remember the music in it. So good or bad, I got nothing to say for or against. I don't remember a thing about it. But no, I mean they people really shouldn't get into that kind of an argument over such a little thing.
Well, this
point.
person just needed to shut the hell up. He kept
Clearly,
opening his mouth. He just kept opening his mouth up, and he wouldn't shut up. He kept making all these stupid comments, and then he started being rude. But this person just seems to be in their own little political la-la land. This person gets political in the worst possible way. They have like 38 people following them on Twitter, and then or they're following 38 people and only 27 people are following this person back.
Sounds to me like they're fishing for follows.
Yeah, probably. He seemed to be mostly following celebrities, though, but it was a bunch of celebrities I would not follow. Some of these people were people I blocked because I can't stand them.
I don't know. I don't go blocking celebrities necessarily. I don't follow them. I don't block them. They block me though on occasion, but especially when this whole blockchain thing got started. Where
Yeah,
if you follow one person and somebody else will block you because they blocked that person, and that's usually what happens to me. And then I'll wind up getting somebody will tell me, "Hey, so and so blocked you," and I'll go, "Who?" That's why I really didn't get all that upset when John Cusack blocked me. Because at least, hey, I got blocked by someone I've actually heard of. It was good. And because I get blocked a lot by a lot of these like Comicsgate people. These like left winger comic book people, and I'll never have heard of any of them. It doesn't bother me. It's like I'm blocked by someone I heard of for the first time when they blocked me. I really don't care. But no, I mean anybody who's going to use some social media platform to start some BS argument because they're fishing for follows. I mean, I don't see the point in that.
I don't know if this person was fishing for followers, but the only people I saw on there that I could recognize was like Mark Hamill, Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
And then just one other person that I don't think anybody knows who the hell they are. It was just some person that has a podcast.
Well, that's nothing special. Everybody has a podcast these days. Hey! Present company excluded, of course. Anyway, yeah. As for Mark Hamill, you were in 3 good movies 40 years ago. That's it. And 2 of them actually were Star Wars movies.
Only 2 of them were Star Wars movies?
Yes.
How can you only say two of them? Why wouldn't all three Star Wars movies be good?
Because there are only two good ones.
Oh.
There were two good ones and one, I'm not a Star Wars fan, Tim. Not anymore. There's more bad Star Wars than good, in my opinion.
Well,
that
I rather
fandom.
pretend that bad stuff doesn't exist. I don't consider it real. It's just corporate garbage.
It is. And I mean that's and I'm not saying that to like get under the skin of people who like Star Wars. If it's your thing, great. If you're seeing something in it that I'm not, that's great, terrific. More power to you. But with me, Star Wars is like Gone with the Wind to me now. It's overrated.
I don't see it on the same level as Gone with the Wind. I think Gone with the Wind's become more mainstream, where Star Wars has become more of like this B grade cult following thing that was one that might start out B grade, but then became mainstream, but now it's gone back to going underground again.
And underground is where it should stay. Sometimes that is better, as the movie says. But that's me. There's just been so much back and forth over Star Wars that I just I had to get shut of it. And I tell myself, Star Wars had three good movies. Well, two good movies and one and that the rest is fan fiction, and I don't necessarily need to see it. But
I wouldn't even call that fan fiction, because there's people that are writing it now are not fans. They're just corporate a-holes is all they are. And they are playing dumb. And they should not be writing anything.
No. Based on what I've heard, no. All right. Adonis, Dragonstorm, Stephen Walton in the house. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Connie says 2.5 good ones. Yeah. I love the first two. I like the original. Empire is freaking amazing. I think it's the best one. Return of the Jedi. To me is like a matinee or a rental. It's fine. It ends the story. It closes out all the plot strands. It's satisfying enough. It's too long by a half hour. But it's like it's a movie I can watch it. But if it wasn't the third movie in a trilogy, I probably wouldn't bother with it otherwise. It probably would have been a one and done. In retrospect, I had to. It's kind of where I am now after, 40 some odd years of thinking about it. That's just where I am with it. because the way I put it is, I didn't leave the Star Wars fandom; it left me. And that's kind of the way that I look at it. But if somebody says to me, "Hey, I still love Star Wars. It might not be what it once was, but I'm holding out hope for the future," to that, I say to that person, good for you. But I'm past it. I don't know where you are on it necessarily, Tim. Because there are. I liked Rebels when I first saw it, but I personally take it for what it is, and it's fan fiction. That's the way I have to look at it. And don't get me wrong about fan fiction necessarily. I've seen fan fiction done well. I just don't want to see it in Star Wars, but that's me. Other people might have other opinions, and Tim, please stop me if you think I'm out of line, or anybody in the chat if you have a different opinion. I'm down. Let's hear it. Do you think I'm off base, or do you completely agree? I don't, partially agree. It's okay. You're muted, Tim. Oh no, I killed Tim. I started talking about Star Wars and he went away. All right, back to the chat. Connie says agreed. And hello to your old toys. Good to see you here, sir. I think Tim had to step away for a moment. Okay. Well, we'll just keep on going until he comes back. All right. Well, earlier today, I had my first watch party. Thanks to Troy Pacelli, I was able to get my Cosme stream working. And we watched The Last Stand, which is an Arnold Schwarzenegger action film from about 10 years ago. Entertaining movie. And I see that Mr. Hayes' chair has made a reappearance on our program.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, and Your Old Toys is in the chat. Hi, Your Old Toys. And Ladonis Dragonstorm, who's author Stephen Walton, and we got Connie Cleary.
Yes, we do. All right, so Tim, the ball is in your court. Am I off base? Do you agree, disagree? Your feelings on Star Wars, either the OT, the prequels, Disney. Where are you on it?
Well, I don't know if you saw this the other day, but I bought this little guy at Walgreens.
Ah. Luke, I am your father. Okay.
It was between him and Boba Fett, but I was with my mother, and I asked her, "Well, which one do you like better, Boba Fett or Darth Vader?" So she picked Darth Vader.
Well, you definitely made made the better choice, I think. And one of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do this and not.
And Daniel's got an upside down photo. That's weird.
I am playing with the buttons, folks. Yes, hello and thank you, Daniel Heron, Soundtracks with Birdman, for joining us. I believe, if I am remembering correctly, he's going to have a live stream Wednesday night at, I believe, 9:00, and it's going to be a watch party for Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, if I remember correctly, please stop me if I'm wrong. He says I'm correct. Yes. Okay, so cool. Your old toy says the original 3 movies are the best. Yeah, I have to agree there. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, definitely. If I had to pick between Darth Vader and Boba Fett, it's Vader all the way, man, for sure.
So you don't have what Tom would call a Boba fetish at all, then?
No, I never understood what the big deal was about that character.
Well, I know, like, Scuba Pete made. I don't know if you have ever met him, but it seems like a year or two ago, he would make a big deal over the way Boba Fett died in Return of the Jedi. He would just get all mad about that constantly, and I don't see, okay, what's the big deal? He's just a bad guy.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is they one thing that fans of the OT did is they really conflated that character into something that was much bigger than he actually was. And in the Mandalorian TV series,
Yes, go on.
tried its best to rehabilitate that character, in my opinion.
Well, I think the Mandalorian just became the Cara Dune show for a while, and then it basically became the Bo-Katan show.
Yeah, it may as well. Yeah. I don't know. I was already out by the time season 3 happened, but and I'm not talking out of school. I've brought this up on other streams. I never understood, what the big deal was about Boba Fett, because all of these years I've been going, badass, stone cold killer, and all this, and I'm like, what movie did you see? Because I don't remember any of that. In book 23 of year 4 of, like, the the EU, and I'm like, yeah, guys, the EU is the EU. It's not the movies, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do homework. It has to be explained in the movie. And to me, Boba Fett was simply guy in helmet with a gun standing behind Jabba the Hutt. That's all I know. And hello to JPRPH1. So to me, I never understood why this character that was a glorified extra, in my opinion, was being conflated to this, mythic status. And the Mandalorian series attempts to bring the character to that mythic status. And it did have me for a couple of episodes. Then they did the Book of Boba Fett series, which I refer to as the Mandalorian season 2.5, because Mandalorian's in that show more than Boba Fett is, to be honest. And hello, Connie.
Hello. That wonderful, beautiful game.
How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. How are you?
Good so far.
Yeah. Right on. All right. So we kind of fell into a Star Wars discussion. What are your feelings on the franchise as a whole?
Majority of them suck, except for their first three. And for who played Anakin, the Christian Hayden, whatever the bloody hell his name is, made Anakin a whiny little git.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah.
And hello to Tim's mom.
That's not my mom. That's our housemate.
Oh,
That's
well,
Bev. My mom's sitting on the sofa.
hello.
Ah.
All right. Well, your old toys in the chat is saying Boba Fett was a cool character because he had mystery and Disney ruins that. I can understand that argument. Okay, yeah, perfectly fair statement there, I would say. Boba Fett is an easy character, sort of, kind of project whatever you want to onto him, in my opinion. Obviously there are people who like the character. That's perfectly fine. I'm just saying that this kind of didn't land with me personally, but that's me. Where are we going? Huh. Okay.
Just trying to reset my webcam.
Stay in place.
Nah, it's a little thing on there. It's supposed to brighten the light on it.
Yeah.
And I rev it.
Cambot,
light.
Cutie Rocket number 9.
Okay, I think that's as bright as I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not having it. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not having any problem seeing you. So
Okay, it's just
lights working
it's
perfectly fine here.
just that it's dark outside now, and even with this overhead light on, was looking kind of dark in here for some reason.
It's kind of looks normal.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to derail us by going into Star Wars necessarily, but
Yeah, I'm sorry if I derailed us.
No. If anything, you kept me focused on that one. But it's just that I wasn't happy with the fandom in general, and certain people that I felt were trying to hijack that fandom, and it was, and there was a certain Patreon page that I used to be involved with that shall remain nameless, that I am no longer on.
Yeah, and I'll say that person needs to chill. They really need to learn to chill.
Seriously, yeah. Well, not the person running the page, someone who is allowed.
The person running the page needs to learn to chill now as well, because every time he gets on Midnight's Edge with somebody, he gets into a shouting match with someone else. He got in a shouting match with Tom over something that wasn't even Star Wars. It was some other stupid show that was on Disney Plus. And he accused Tom of being racist or something over it. So
that I didn't see. But
yeah, and it's a good thing you didn't, because it was ridiculous.
Well, first off, what's the point of arguing over anything that's on? Culture Casino calls it Disney minus, and I've come to call it that.
Yeah, that's what you should call it. It's Disney minus, because the quality is not there. I think they're up. I heard that they're upscaling to 4K an awful lot. They're not showing the Star Wars movie. They're not showing the original Star Wars movies in full 4K. It's something below that. So if you want to see the original Star Wars movies in 4K, you better just track down a 4K copy.
Yeah, I mean, I am getting to the point to where I have no real problem going in that direction with it, because a lot of these streaming services won't even put their content out on Blu-ray or DVD, let alone 4K. So I mean, if there's somebody out there who says, hey, I can take the original Star Wars, the original theatrical edition of Star Wars, not any kind of special version or anything like that, the original pure 1977 to 83 Star Wars, and put that on 4K. If I got to go to some alternate means to find something like that, I'll do it. And hello to Shirality.
You sound like an interesting character saying that. Deleted scenes.
Really?
Yeah, going to alternate means, that's being an interesting character.
I'm not. No, I'm not beyond it now. Because look, I've made no bones about this. I am a big supporter of physical media. Clearly, but there are just some things that you don't necessarily have access through, the normal channels. There are certain things that you're not going to be able to just go to a Walmart and find.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to, if you have to go through some sort of alternate route, Okay, look, YouTube is already shadow banning my channel anyway, so I'll just come out and say this because what the f, right?
Why are you saying that they're shadow banning you? When you're
because
only at
because people go looking for my channel and they can't find it.
okay, I don't.
I go looking for my channel and I can't find it. So something's up. But either way, my point is, I have bootlegged copies of movies in my possession. Let me put it that way. Not many, but I have a few. And
Well, sometimes you can't get the originals.
no, that's the point.
Like with Star Wars, you cannot get the originals because George Lucas took them out of circulation, and he won't even let Disney re-release the original versions.
Well, you also have to understand that Disney is allergic to money, number one, and they're also trying to delete or otherwise change everything that Lucas did, or at least Kathleen Kennedy's trying to do that for sure. But
I don't think she can do much more because I think they're gonna force her into retirement soon. So she's not gonna be able to do much of anything else.
yeah, there's still Filoni though, and I don't.
I don't think they're gonna
that
keep
guy
him
any farther
around.
than the role.
They won't keep him around. He's not gonna be able to do. He's not gonna be able to do much because nobody likes Ahsoka. That's all he has. Nobody likes that show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with it either.
She's not a popular enough character
No,
to really do anything.
she's a fan fiction character.
Well,
She's
not
Filoni-verse.
exactly.
That's it.
I think she was created by George Lucas for that Clone Wars movie, though. That one computer generated animated Star Wars movie. She was created just for that. But then they just kept her and kept her and kept her past that.
Well, they kept her because Filoni has some kind of fetish when it comes to that character. And yes, please follow his advice.
But he's not Filoni. He's not Filoni. He's baloney.
Okay, you said it. I didn't.
Yes, I did
You
say
would.
it.
That was.
He is nothing but baloney.
Every time somebody says something like that, I always think of that movie Troy. And I saw it in theaters, second run. And there was like this older couple who were sitting in front of me in the theater, right? And the old guy, he's just kind of sitting there through the entire movie like this. Kind of scowl on his face, just doesn't move. It's just like he's having none of it, right? And then about 2 hours in, he's like, baloney, and walks out.
Is that whatchamacallit? What's it called? Was that the movie about Alexander the Great?
No. This one was what is it? The Iliad?
Oh, okay.
With Achilles and Hector and all those characters.
Achilles and Hector and all.
Yeah,
them. Okay.
Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Peter O'Toole, Orlando Bloom.
All right.
It wasn't all that good, but Yes, anybody who has a wrench, start dropping the channel links
I'm working
for
on it
each
right
other,
now.
and please, and because I know we have some people in the chat who are nearing some subscriber milestones here. So
Yeah, your old
let's
toys
everybody-
is getting up to 80, and I think I'm at whatchamacallit. I was at 399, but somehow I'm back to 398. So I'm getting close to 400.
all right. We got Connie working on that. All right, so I think we've raked Star Wars over the coals quite enough for one night.
Yeah, well, since this is the other side of midnight, I wanted to share some more midnighty type movies.
Right on.
Have you ever seen Andy Warhol's Frankenstein in 3D?
Not in 3D.
Well, I've got the 4K Blu-ray combo, and it's got a 3D copy where you can either watch it in full 3D if you have a 3D setup, or it's got the Analyth 3D in there as well.
Oh, nice.
It's originally called Flesh for Frankenstein, but it was better known as Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, since I think he helped fund it. But it was directed by Paul Morrissey.
Okay. And as you can see, I finally figured out how to blow you up to full screen. So hold that back up again and make sure everybody gets a look at that. Yes.
Yeah, let me pull out the cases, because
Right on.
it's two different discs, and when it's see,
Mhm.
and then look at the back,
Nice.
and then I'm not sure if this one of these I think just has the 4K, and one just has the regular Blu-ray.
Cool. That was with Udo Kier playing Frankenstein, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
played Count Dracula in the follow-up, Andy Warhol's Dracula, called originally called Blood for Dracula.
Nice.
So it was three of the same actors in both movies.
Yeah, I saw Frankenstein many years ago. I don't remember a whole lot about it because we're talking like it's probably been about 30 years since I've seen it, thereabouts. So that might be one to revisit.
And then there's another Frankenstein type movie that you wouldn't even think of Frankenstein, but there's a character in it called Frankenstein. Roger Corman produced Death Race 2000, starring David Carradine. He plays a race car driver named Frankenstein that was a surgically built man to be a great race car driver.
Mm-hmm. Also one of Sylvester Stallone's early movies.
Yeah, it was one of his first movies, and then Louisa Moritz, who was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, is paired with Sylvester Stallone in this.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Watch it and see where Grand Theft Auto came from.
And then this one's a little bit of a Frankenstein movie, How to Make a Monster. You get the teenage Frankenstein and the teenage werewolf in here, and that's probably the only way you're going to see both of those characters legally right now, since the copyright owner to I Was a Teenage Werewolf and I Was a Teenage Frankenstein keeps asking for too much money to release those films on Blu-ray. So this follow-up was one that that person doesn't own, luckily, so this got out.
Right on.
And then there's this little 50s drive-in movie, Frankenstein's Daughter.
Been ages since I seen that one last.
It stars Sandra Knight, who used to be married to Jack Nicholson.
Mhm.
They have a daughter together named Jennifer Nicholson, who's an actress, but they divorced, and then Sandra remarried, and then she got out of the business. So it starts off with Sandra Knight's this girl. She keeps being given a drug by Dr. Frankenstein's, I think, great-grandson that's turning her into this monster, and then he kills one of her friends, and then turns that friend into a real monster.
Well, that wasn't very nice of him.
No, but he's insane.
Well, yeah.
He's really insane in this. Dr. Frankenstein is. But then the makeup guy in this movie, who keeps turning like young actors into monsters, is insane in this one too. Oh, and the cool thing about this one, it's in black and white, but the last 9 to 10 minutes are in color.
Nice.
It's like, let's see, yeah, I Was a Teenage Frankenstein was a movie that was in black and white, but the last few minutes of that one were in color. And then this one and War of the Colossal Beast end in color. So those are some more little B-grade drive-in midnight movies, or midnighty movies, just to get us off of Star Wars and onto a different topic.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. You know, it's open topic, and definitely physical media qualifies. So, ballpark, how many movies do you think you have in your collection, Tim?
I want to say 1 billion, but maybe 1 million. Or I want to say 1 million, but I think maybe more like 1 billion.
I get the feeling you're exaggerating just a scotch.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not really exaggerating at all. It's just, yeah, I don't think it's so much that I'm exaggerating. It's just, I don't know. I just can't think of anything else. Really.
So, what would you say is the breakdown between like 4K or Blu-ray or DVD? Do you have any VHS still?
I have some VHS, but the thing is, I really wasn't collecting physical media as much then, because there was still so much I could just record off a TV. So it just comes down to, I think at the time when it came to VHS, it just wasn't so, it seemed like there wasn't as much like TV on VHS as there has been on DVD and Blu-ray. So I would collect some episodes of the original Dark Shadows TV show on VHS. And then I would end up getting like maybe multiple copies of the original Night of the Living Dead on VHS.
Yeah, I think everybody has at least a few copies of that one. So Connie, jump in here. Physical media wise, do you have a collection going?
Just a couple hundred right now.
Oh,
It's small.
no, that's fine. Anything you would care to show off? Maybe something we're not as familiar with?
I have them all in another room. I'm in my bedroom right now, so.
Oh.
I have to literally dig out of the hutch like a couple dozen of them. I do have a lot of the old Universals horror ones with the Mummy and all that stuff, and a lot of the Hammer as well. And I still have the mom and I still have the VHS of Metropolis still. I'm not giving that up.
Nice.
And mom recorded all the seasons of Babylon 5. The whole series. Commercials and all.
Oh, nice. Well, there's supposed to be a Blu-ray of the entire series that's going to be coming out near Christmas. So I'm definitely going to save up for that.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah. And of course, there is the movie that's now out on 4K. I'm hoping to pick that up sometime in the next couple of days.
Sweet. How many do you have, Stephen?
How many do I have? I'm not really sure. It's definitely into hundreds. I wouldn't be surprised if I had near 1,000 by now. That's one thing I'm going to have to do is go back and count. Because what you usually see behind me in the streams, just get a light on myself so that everybody can get a view. Now, what you see there behind me and what I have up there right now is not all DVDs, obviously, but that's not even close to all of it. What I have down here is maybe half, maybe a little bit under. Because as you see, I have stacks lying on top of the main rows. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going through a lot of these. I got to get them back into some sort of an order because I got a whole bunch upstairs. I have some up over here in front of me, which is where I keep the 4Ks. So yeah, what I'm planning to do, and I might do the first show this week, is I've been thinking about doing like a physical media show of my own. And no link to stream. Shirality, if you're on Twitter, DM me and I'll send you the link. But yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing is I want to do a physical media show where I start with the VHS movies that I have remaining. I really don't have that many anymore, but I do still have some left. And then maybe do a show where I show off a few of them, or maybe all of them. It kind of depends on how long I want to do the show for. And whether or not I can snag any guests for that, because eventually I want to start bringing people on. But right now I haven't pinned down the time for when I want to do it. But that's something to look forward to. The problem with me is I have this crazy work schedule, and I basically have an 11-hour plus work day. So I'm right now I'm working like 50 hours plus a week. It doesn't really leave me a whole lot of time. So I kind of have to, do streams like this kind of when I have the time to do them. And then somewhere along the line, sleep, and do everything else that I have to do around the house.
Totally get that.
It doesn't really leave a whole lot of time. So it's like there are things that I want to do, and there are people who approach me wanting to collaborate with me on stuff, and sometimes I have to tell them that I no, because the time they're available is during a time I have to work, so, which is really too bad, because I've had some people come to me behind the scenes with some really interesting stuff that they want to do, and they say, hey, are you in? And I go, dude, I'd love to, but I can't, because I don't have that kind of time anymore. The days of me, being there and like every stream like I used to be, especially when I got started, which was during the lockdowns. I'm just not available now, because I got to work. I got to keep, if I'm going to keep this roof over my head, if I'm going to keep this stuff, then, that's what I got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. So it's like there are a lot of things on YouTube that I would like to do, not just for my channel, but, for other people's channels. And I just, right now, I can't, so, I'm focusing on just keeping the shows that I'm doing going, and, I did a couple of live streams earlier, during the week that were of kind of varying degrees, I guess, but, and also added to which, I'm not exactly the most tech savvy person in the world. So every once in a while, I got to ask people for advice, the watch party stream that I did earlier today, which thankfully went well, but if Troy was not there for that, man, that would have been a real mess if I hadn't. Yeah, it's I'm on Twitter. I am at deleted underscore scenes one. So it's just like the it's just like the YouTube name. It's just got a one because apparently there's already another deleted scenes, you know, on Twitter. So that's where you should be able to.
Sometimes if you look for the icon too with it, it might help out. Especially if it lines up with exactly with the YouTube accounts.
Yeah. So if you see this icon, that'll be me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I definitely want to do a physical media show. It's just going to be a matter of finding a good time to do it. I do want to do something in that vein sometime in the next couple of days. But on the other hand, if I don't get to it, then man. So that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we heard about the postponements that have taken place because of the strike. We're seeing movies like Dune and Godzilla and Kong being pushed back to next year. So my question to the panel and the chat is, now that we're going to have to wait to see it, those movies, is there anything this year remaining that you're looking forward to?
Not really.
No.
Not particularly right now.
I still think there's a few out there. We have The Equalizer 3 coming up this week. We are still getting a Godzilla movie this year, and we're getting the one that is made by the original studio, Toho, in Japan. It's a movie called Godzilla -1, and it looks like they're going back to kind of the old school Godzilla films. You know, we're seeing them as the villain again for this one. And it also looks like they're setting it in post-war Japan. So I'm really curious to see how that one goes.
Looks interesting. Waiting for the Nun 2 to come out, a horror show, so it'll come out until September.
When's that going to be? Do you,
September 8th when it comes out.
Oh,
Had to double check on the date on that one. And Terrifier, the next one coming out next year.
right on.
Did anyone see the Pope's Exorcist yet?
Mm-mm.
Not yet. No.
I forgot to ask you guys about that the last time I was on. It's good for what it is. You know, there was some controversy from the priests that saw it.
Mhm.
You know how the Pope's Exorcist is about a true life exorcist. He's like the head of for the whole thing. And you know how Hollywood likes to glam up things? I just take for what it is, for what I know of the profession. Not bad for what it is.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out because it is available. I think both Peacock and Amazon have it right now, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think that's what they're on right now.
So yeah, that's one on the list that I have to get to. All right, talk amongst yourselves a second. I got to see to something backstage here.
Okay. So how's it going, Connie?
Not bad. How about yourself?
All right. Just been a little bit tired today.
Yeah, I get that. Oh well, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anything coming up this week for you?
No, not that I can think of. Just same old stuff going on as usual, I think.
Okay.
I can't think of anything big going on.
See what's up in the chat. Did you see any good movies lately?
No, I haven't been watching much.
Okay.
All right, and hello, Shirality.
How you doing?
That last one.
Hello.
Nice Durality.
Good to see you. Very good to see you.
Good. All righty. Well, so any thoughts on any of the topics that we've gone over this evening?
I caught briefly some of it. What did we cover? Let me look back on it. Oh yeah, the Frankenstein. Frankenstein films. I haven't really seen many Frankenstein films, to be honest. I've seen more werewolf films than anything else. Like American Werewolf in London, American Werewolf in Paris. There's the Anthony Hopkins werewolf with what's his name? That Spanish-looking guy that ends up being the werewolf. Sorry,
Benicio del Toro.
that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
I think the werewolf films are more impressive. Like they're more folklore and more. yeah, they're more imaginative. And Frankenstein, yeah, same with Dracula. That's more.
There you go.
It's got more folklore to it as well. If you know what I mean?
This
Indeed.
is
What's that
one
one
from
he's got?
Spain. Paul Naschy came out in '71. The Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman.
Can you make the screen larger?
Yes. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's
please. Thank you.
jump him into the solo here.
Oh wow, still in the cellophane.
It's
Oh
up,
wow,
Play
that's
with
brilliant.
Claire.
Well, that's cool. Wow, that's impressive. Well, so do you own more than one copy and you keep one in cellophane?
No, it's just it's a 4K Blu-ray combo. So I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
opened
So
it up yet.
okay.
And there was one other one. I thought I had it at hand. Oh, there it is.
Meanwhile, our friend Mr. Hayes' chair is back. So, Mr. Hayes' chair, have
That's
you
a nice chair.
seen any good movies of late?
That is a nice chair.
That's also in the same series as Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman Assignment Terror. It's more of a monster rally. You get Frankenstein's monster, you get a Count
Oh, I like
Dracula,
Sleeve.
a mummy, and
Wow,
the Wolfman.
cool. I like that. Yeah.
And it also stars Michael Rennie from the film The Earth the Day Stood Still.
Wow, that's it. I like that. Let's just search that one up.
It's some of the same people as Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman.
Yeah, I do like my werewolf films.
So this is 1969, but it got released to TV here in the States. But this is a widescreen theatrical version. But it's the English dub, so it's the same. Should be the same English dubbed audio that was shown on the American TV release.
Fantastic.
But this one was released to theaters here.
Wow. Awesome.
Just a slight bit before my time, though.
Yeah, it's before my time too, but it's one of those movies.
Yeah, they're still classics, though, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's if you were into Star Wars and the Hammer horror films, and
What
They were
Hammer
like
horror
these-
films? They are brilliant. Yeah.
I collected these old magazines that would show pictures from some of these older horror flicks.
No, they're good.
And then there's
Hunt-
another one, a
I'm hunting
50s
them down
one
myself.
that doesn't have any monsters. It's just about dreams, called The Nightwalker.
I've heard of that one.
Well, actually, it's from the 60s, the mid 60s.
Yeah.
Universal Pictures, but it's William Castle movie.
It's still a
This is-
cult film.
Yeah, it was Barbara Stanwyck's last movie.
Well, I'm getting a bit of an education here and to research.
You'll get a real education on film from me,
Yeah.
at least.
That's what I
more-
like. That's what I like. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, the more
Continue.
B-grade stuff. So where are you at, Sorality? You sound like you're from the UK.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not far out from London.
Okay, so you are in the UK. You're not an Australian, because we get
Yeah, I'm
some
UK, yeah, yeah.
Australians here on YouTube, and then
Hmm.
And there's some British guys that get replanted over into Australia.
No, no, that I think that was about 250 years ago.
No, but there's one guy the same age as me who's British,
Oh,
whose family moved to Australia, and now he lives there.
oh, I see. Okay, I understand now. No.
So
Yeah,
that's
it
what I
seems to
meant.
be either that or Canada usually.
Yeah, Canada will get a lot of Europeans.
Yeah.
I don't blame him if he ran away from Canada, which was it Justin Trudeau? No
Yeah,
wonder he buggered off.
he's not that. I don't
I
think he's
don't
not
blame
that
him.
nice of a guy.
That's a loaded comment right there.
Oh, and Steven, or deleted scenes, have I shown off this one before?
Ah, heavy metal. Yeah, I think I've
Love
got my
heavy metal.
copy around here somewhere. I'll have to.
Yeah, I never opened
Excellent.
this.
Wow, you
But
got
then
so
I-
many DVDs. He
I
doesn't
bought the
open his
DVD
stuff.
copy because I don't think that this had all the extras the DVD had.
What's the quality, those? Oh,
And that's on my bucket list for that one.
I'm more into my cult classics like Clockwork Orange, Predator.
Yeah, I don't have Clockwork Orange on hand. I've got
All
that
the
in a box
Terminators.
set.
All the Terminator films. Actually, most of the Predator films as well.
I have the book for the Clockwork Orange, first edition.
All of the Star Wars.
Yeah, and then I've got the Barbarians.
Quickly change subject. Yeah. Excellent.
So I've got a bunch of different movies.
You can't beat Lord of the Rings as well.
That sadly I do not own. It's one
You
I
don't
wish I
own any
did
of the
have.
Lord of the Rings?
Huh?
Wow. You don't own any of the Lord of the Rings?
No, sadly I don't. I've got
That's
a bunch of older.
sacrilege.
I own a bunch of older stuff. I've got,
Oh, that's too bad.
Kick him out.
That is a real shame. I mean, you know, that was. Oh, I've messed myself up here. Hold on. Let me take myself off of this here. Okay. We are all back.
Did you do that on purpose because you had no Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Ah!
Except that guy.
He's gone again. Oh, bless.
Bloody hell.
I'm sorry. Someone who does not own Lord of the Rings is not allowed on my streams, partner. No. No, absolutely. No, I'm sorry, Tim. The trouble is,
that's quality.
the good news is when I kicked you the first time, I ended up kicking all of us. So
you
I think we had a
did?
blank screen there for a minute.
Hmm,
All right.
I
But
didn't
no,
notice.
that's
Oh, that's
fine
brilliant.
because, you know,
Fantastic stream so far, anyway.
there
This first time,
there are multiple copies of, kind of multiple editions of Lord of the Rings, and it's, because you have the extended version, you have the theatrical cut, you'll have, the ones that came with the figurines, which I actually have a couple of around here somewhere. But yeah, and then there's also the fact that they don't exactly sell that in stores anymore either.
Okay,
For
I
Lord
don't
of the
know.
Rings, they don't?
another question to Tim. Has he got any Matrix?
No.
Oh, definitely boot him out.
Okay. This not having the sequels, I can kind of understand.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh,
Okay, I'll let him off then. Does he have Animatrix?
No, but I got
Oh no, this gets
Eagles
worse.
and Yellow Submarine.
Was that the Beatles? Okay, I'll let him off.
Yellow
Yes.
Submarine.
And I've got John Carpenter.
Oh, you got Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's it. Get him
And
out.
I've got
Get
Sword
him
and
out.
Sorcery.
now he has everything else though.
No,
And
he doesn't have the...
I've got Fire and Ice.
I wouldn't come to his house. He doesn't have Wizard of Oz. He doesn't have Terminator. Oh, do you have Terminator?
Those are more expensive, though. Those get more pricey these days, though.
Do you have Terminator?
I've got the DVD of it somewhere in my bedroom,
Oh, that's okay. I'll let you off.
but I haven't watched that in a long time. But it's funny, the time I bought that, I think it was when I was getting a new computer. I was at Best Buy, and they had both the Terminator and Jingle All the Way in the DVD bargain bin, so I bought both of those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies
He's
on
swearing at me
DVD
now.
the same day.
Look, he's swearing now. Oh, brilliant.
No, that's fine. There are people who like Jingle All the Way. I never understood what the big deal about it was, but you know, to each their
Well,
own.
it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was on sale. I was buying the Terminator the same day.
Mhm.
So it was just a bargain bin DVD I bought in the same day.
No, but I was really more making a point about the fact that it was kind of critically savaged at the time, but it's become kind of a cult thing now. It seems like.
What, the Terminator?
No, Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
I've never seen Jingle All the Way. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it myself.
It's a family movie. Takes place at Christmas, and he's trying to find this action figure that's kind of like an Iron Man kind of thing for his son, but it's like completely, you know, it's like, you know, the whole Cabbage Patch Kids thing back in the day. It's just totally gone because it's Christmas Eve. There's none left, so he's basically running around the city, getting into shit, trying to find this action figure for his kid, and it's just kind of farcical.
Mm-hmm.
And Sinbad is in it, and I think Phil Hartman was in it, and
Yeah, I understand.
the kid who was Anakin Skywalker in Phantom Menace is the son, and
Oh, what, the young kid?
yeah, the young kid.
Oh, he's actually, it's funny you say, come to mention that. He was on my Google link the other day. Apparently he's a convicted criminal now.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he's had a rough life. Hollywood has not treated him well,
Bless.
to say the least.
Wow, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's that white privilege, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we go to jail too, folks. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you have bank holidays where you are in America? I don't guess. No, you don't. Of course, you don't. Stupid question.
Do we have who?
Exactly.
Oh.
We have bank holidays, so tomorrow is a bank holiday.
Oh,
I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure what for what reason. I'm not sure because we had one for the king when his coronation. We had a bank holiday then. We have these random bank holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with a few of the bank holidays. I had a friend.
Yeah, it's a British thing.
Yeah, it is. I had a friend she was
Mm.
from London. And Eric, and she moved here with her to marry her husband. And every New Year's Eve, she always called back home to call her mom. So she'd hear a big thing going off at midnight. Then she would do it here when she's here in Ohio. And she would go to it all over again. So it was a ball for her when she does that. It's like Christmas all over again.
Yeah, but then you have the same with the 4th of July, don't you?
Yeah.
If you're American, I don't know
Yeah.
about who's Canadian.
That the 4th of July is a U.S. thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada has one a couple of days before us. Their version of the 4th of July.
Are you all American in this stream?
Yes, we're all Americans. There's no
Oh, okay,
Canadians here.
Oh,
yeah. I have a rule: no Canadians. No kidding. No.
no.
All of my Canadian subscribers just went fuck off.
Oh.
On the other stream that I'm a mod on, I've been on for almost 3 years for the mod. We have a lot of Canadians and from England too, and we got a few Australians in there as well. So we get them all over the place.
Cool, awesome.
And go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go ahead. Go on.
That's how I met Deleted Scenes, because he came onto the channel the one day. He said hi. So it's the late horror show that
yeah.
Oh well, now I know your voice, so I can put it to the channel and stuff. Sorry, excuse me.
And it
took me a while to get used to this streaming thing. It took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah, it does takes a few minutes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, but and I've been doing this a year and a half now.
and also having the confidence to show your face and just converse with your face and
yeah,
that kind of thing. It's I'm getting used to it now.
All right. In
Bless.
In the chat, Jedi Bill.
Hey,
Hello,
Bill.
sir.
Bill? Where's Bill?
Yes, Jedi Bill. It was
he's in the chat. Sorry. Okay.
He is in the chat.
Oh, right. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
He does have the link.
So
if he has time to come on, I don't know if he's going to be able to. He's been having some tech issues behind the scenes. I don't know if he's going to be able to join us tonight or not. But he does have the link if he can.
That's understandable. Tech issues are always a problem.
Yeah, he might have to get his PC replaced entirely.
No way.
Yeah. He says movie theater is extremely crowded today. Yeah, they had some. I don't know, Shirality, if they're doing this in the UK, but here in America they have this. They had a National Cinema Day, where basically prices are down to like $4. So everybody just ran off and went to the movies today.
No, they don't have that here. No, yeah. The government wouldn't allow that in this country. I don't think. Well, I could be wrong. I haven't heard about it, but I'll be surprised if they have.
I was at work earlier, and then I set up all my streams for today, so I didn't go to the movies. But yeah, so he had a chance to head out and go. So I'll be expecting.
Well, it's nice to see you all anyway. It's
Yeah.
really good to see you all.
Yeah, I pretty
From-
much
All
look
from
like
America.
a car, so
No, from America though. My American friends. Excellent. Isn't it amazing we can all chat to each other? Oh, it is. It is amazing. I find it is amazing. It has many good aspects, technology, but then it can be used in the wrong way. Like anything, a gun, a knife, anything can be used in the wrong way. Because that's what the thing is at the moment. It's about AI, isn't it? That's what all the engineers are all scared of. That AI is going to run away with itself. So then that makes us all think of Terminator and AI robot, all these sci-fi films. You know.
like of
So
course
I'm not trying.
Stargate. No, just kidding. Somebody on another stream did a watch party for Stargate, so that's I've got that on the brain today.
Oh no, yeah, Stargate was good. Starship Troopers was another good one.
Yeah, that was a good.
It was a
one,
bit cheesy. It was a bit cheesy in some respects, and it had crap. It had crap actors and actresses, but the actual story of fucking giant insects in space. Oh, that fucking blew me away. Fucking hell. Because I saw it at the cinema, you see, and it scared the shit out of me. Not like a horror, but it was like action packed, and the fucking thing is, you know, the insects type things came right at the screen. It was brilliant for its time. But looking back on it I sat there with my son. He was like, "Oh, Dad, this is cheesy." I was like, "Dad, son, I saw this at cinema, and this was special effects of its time, and it was brilliant." So yeah.
So what movie was this?
Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Back when Hollywood can do satire.
And I actually enjoyed it more than Independence Day. So I watched Independence Day at the cinema as well, with Will Smith and all that.
The second one was okay at best.
I don't remember that one. What else I watched? 7 was pretty good.
Yeah.
I watched that. That was 97 I watched that, I think, with a girlfriend. She
Yeah,
chose
today
it for
was
some weird
National
reason.
Cinema Day. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's cool.
Bill's explaining the National
We're all
Cinema Day.
friends here.
Yeah, he says all movies were $4. Families were like watching 3 or 4 movies. It was insane. A lot of people bunching up where they should not be. Which I don't doubt it. So normal then, for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a look up to see if there is a UK National Cinema Day. Wow. I'll probably forget by tomorrow. Let's see. Oh,
I'm trying to look for myself. See something. Theaters.
I thought sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Is that Mel Gibson making another Christ film?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've started it yet. Because what with the strikes and going on and all, that kind of stopped the production on a lot of movies. So I don't know how deep into production they got with it before everything stopped.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, it's something to look into.
So is it what, like $4? $4 to go see a film?
Mm-hmm. For US dollars.
$4. So that's about what? Because the dollar's gone down now. So that's about £1. No. £1.80. $4 is half. So UK would be £2. And the dollar's gone down 20% or so. So it'd be about £1.80.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know.
Let me check here.
Well, that's a bargain, because normally a ticket would be £12. I went to see the Joker, and that was £12. And £12 would be what in American dollars? £12, $20 maybe. No, I can't remember if it is. Anyway, Joker was a good film. I actually enjoyed that. Apart from people laughing in stupid parts of the film, that's why I don't really like the cinema. And the cinema where we are, they're always running a damp, cold air, so you're always feeling chilly. You know what I mean? You can't enjoy the film because you're always feeling a bit fucking cold.
Yeah, that happens here too. The thing that happened when they released Joker in the U.S. was the press here ginned up this whole thing of there were going to be people who are going to go to the movie, cause violence, start fights, and all this. So they started, they assigned cops to go to the theater. And when I went to go see it, there were cops there. We had to go through a metal detector, all of this.
Mm-hmm.
No violence during any screening of the Joker. You want to know where all the violence kept happening? During Frozen 2.
No way.
So everybody's getting freaked out over this movie that's basically a remake of Taxi Driver. For as good as the movie is, that is basically what it is. It's Taxi Driver with Joker in it. And or a variation of Joker. It's basically a Black Label comic. And all of the violence is taking place during the animated Disney movie. Go figure.
How big shit is that?
Uh-oh. And Kanye's paused.
Can I just say, I was watching Nobody yesterday on Netflix, and that was very similar to the Joker in a way. I don't know if you've seen it. Nobody on Netflix, where he's just like everyday guy, and then all of a sudden he just ends up with this massive punt, kicking the shit out of everyone, like in this bus scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, I don't necessarily compare it to Joker.
it sort of had a Joker-esque
I
then.
I,
If you
I
get what I mean.
compare it mostly
Yeah.
to John Wick because it was the same writer.
Yeah.
But
Oh right. Okay.
yeah.
I get you.
But,
So you know more about this than I do, obviously. So that's why I come on your channel to learn shit.
I don't know.
Sorry to be so, but I don't mean
I
to
could
cuss.
see. No, it's fine. I can see elements of Joker in Nobody though, because it is this guy that it is this. How should I put this?
He blows his top. It takes
He
one.
does.
What's it saying? Joker? Like even
Yeah.
in the Christopher Nolan one, it takes that one push.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That is where it's similar. I do agree there.
Mm.
But yeah, to me, you say Nobody, I just kind of think John Wick. I think Hardcore Henry in a way too, because it's the same director as that one. So you have a movie. It's kind of a melding of the two.
Oh, so it's the directors. Okay,
In my opinion.
Right. I get it now.
So yeah, you have the guy who wrote John Wick. You have the guy who directed Hardcore Henry, and then you got
Right.
basically, and then
Yeah,
you
you
have the
the-
guys who directed John Wick producing that movie, and then you also have Bob Odenkirk being trained by
So you have
guys
all.
who trained Keanu to do.
So you have all the influences there. I
Yeah,
get
it's all
what you
there.
mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fantastic. All right, I get it now. Yeah, because a lot of the fight scenes in that bus, I could. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
now you come to mention it, definitely spot on. Right. Ah,
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk trained for like 2 years
wow.
to do all the fights, so he could do it all himself.
Hmm.
And then went back to his TV show and promptly had a heart attack and had to sit everything out for 6 months. But luckily he's back on his feet now. But, that was kind of scary there for a second, I would think.
She had what's his name? Doc Brown out of
Oh yeah, Christopher
Back to the
Lloyd.
Future. That's
Yeah.
it, Christopher Lloyd. He was the fella's dad. That's funny.
I got something I got to do, Dad. Well, then, do it, son.
Brilliant. Oh right, so it's been like that.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Hmm.
That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what's wrong. But I've been watching my westerns recently.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Eastwood, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah. Bit addicted to that one recently. Because the soundtrack is like, yeah, some of these soundtracks to the films actually make the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Star Wars as well. The soundtrack is
Mhm.
the film. Yeah, John Williams done a brilliant
And I don't want it to come off sounding like I was trying to hack on John Williams earlier with the whole situation with the because apparently that, as Tim was saying at the beginning of the show, apparently there was a couple of guys on Twitter got into some dust up over the soundtrack album for whatever reason. I don't know the whole story, but
yeah, it was a soundtrack over Dial of Destiny, Indy 5.
Yeah.
But it really didn't, it shouldn't have been an argument at all. It was just somebody sharing the link to the CD for sale, and somebody was just being dumb, couldn't even see that the link was right in front of him, and he asked, where's the link? And he said, it's right in front of you, I just posted it. And then it just got, things just got ugly after that.
Sound like the guy was just being an ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this guy
it
was
does
being
sound that way.
a
Yeah.
real ass, because he tried to act all stupid like he didn't know the link was right in front of him. And then he just... I looked at this guy's Twitter, and this guy is somebody that does not want to make friends. He just wants to be enemies with just about anybody that disagrees with him.
yeah, because there's no point in this dealing with anybody like that, because if they're going to make a big deal out of something that petty, then what's the point?
Well,
There's no point.
this
even arguing.
guy made it pretty clear on his Facebook page that anybody that didn't vote the same way for the same person for president, that he wouldn't.
I know.
He would just badmouth them. So
Yeah,
this was not.
you're going to get that. I just
This is somebody This is somebody you're not going to be able to make friends with, no matter how hard you try, because this guy just wants to be enemies with just about anybody that
I
disagrees.
got a couple of family members that are like that, so I understand where you're coming from.
Well, this guy, I think, was intentionally just being an a-hole.
yeah, sounds like.
I'm not
Yeah, I
even
know
sure.
people like that.
I'm not even sure if he really believes in the politics he follows, or if he's just doing it just to intentionally be mean to everybody.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Or all of the above.
Yeah, because it's like I was saying earlier. There are people who will just say stuff like that sometimes just to get certain people to follow them for whatever reason, and I'm like, and I'm not saying this guy was going for follows or anything, but there are people who do that. I mean, let's be honest. They go fishing for followers, to go fishing for compliments, to go. Yeah, I don't have time for people who are going to be that way. If they want to step off to me, then just whatever, prattle on. I got other things to do, So yeah.
I booted up people for doing stupid shit like that on Dano's channel, and then there's a couple other people that did exactly the same thing on these jackasses.
Yeah,
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm.
They could be controlled opposition.
What do you mean by controlled opposition? I don't understand that.
Possible.
They're like paid operatives to work to make people think the opposite way.
I don't think so. This guy, I think
There's a lot
I
of
don't
that.
think-
There's a lot that goes on.
It does
Because
I
happen.
don't think so.
Yeah,
I think this
yeah.
person was just.
Well, no, not necessarily him per se, but I'm saying there's
Yeah.
a lot of that goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, there might be, but I don't think he was paid
Yeah, yeah.
opposition.
I agree what you're saying. Yeah, I agree.
This guy has hardly any followers. He has 27 people following him back,
Hmm.
but he's following 38 people on Twitter.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but I mean, you also have to remember that most of the people who are on Twitter are more likely bots, because when they started shutting down the bots, that first day I lost 100 followers automatically because they were all bots.
Oh. I didn't pay attention, to be honest.
You didn't miss much. You know.
No, you didn't.
So I don't really go on Twitter that much. I really don't.
No.
I don't go on Facebook. I go on YouTube most of the time, and that's purely it, really. Because if I want to get the news, I just go on YouTube. Because all the other ones, Instagram, Twitter, they're all mostly adverts. I know YouTube has adverts, but they're not as many as Instagram, Facebook, X, because it's no longer Twitter now.
Well, Instagram is more just to post photos, or you could just do a post with a photo.
Yeah, it's mostly what was it? I'm gonna say it. It's mostly girls advertising for friends only. That's what it mostly is.
They're not.
So
I don't think they're supposed to be doing that. That's spam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they still get away with it. They still
Yeah, they do that on Facebook too, but
Hmm.
I don't think you're even supposed to be doing that.
It's not as okay. I'll get to my point. It's not as arty as it used to be. It's more. No, I just can't be. I can't be bothered with it. Sorry. No,
I don't blame you.
it's definitely changed. There's too many adverts on it.
And speaking of adverts, here's Bill talking about the previews before the movie. It says previews are not good. A lot of upcoming films. The new Hunger Games looks lame. And why do we need a Wonka origin story? Also very lame and out to destroy the classic.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, he's true on that one. Yeah, he's absolutely right on that one.
Yeah,
'Cause I saw the trailer of no, it was the Wonka origin story. Oh, like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory Wonka. Is that what we're talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that Wonka.
it's an origin story. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, we don't need that.
Yeah, probably a
No,
lot
we
of
already
stuff you don't need.
Actually, he wasn't there. I'm trying to think. Oh no, that was Edward Scissorhands when he went back into his childhood. Yeah, that was Edward Scissorhands,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
you're thinking of the Johnny Depp version.
Yeah.
That had the flashbacks to his father and everything. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Played by one of the Christophers played Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee. That's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
brilliant. No, so I could see what they're trying to maybe do there, but then don't know. Wouldn't be quite. They'll mess it up anyway.
Yeah, probably. And as far as this Hunger Games movie, again a prequel story that no one asked for.
Mhm.
How did President Snow turn evil? Who cares? Plus, it's going to have Rachel Ziegler in it, so it's going to die.
I was not impressed with the Hunger Games at all. Anyways, I tried watching it, but I don't think so.
The first movie was good, but
Didn't get me either.
It should have been rated R. They should have just let it be rated R.
Why rated R though?
Because they wouldn't have to cut away from the violence so much and do all the shaky cam crap where you can't see any. It looks like an earthquake. It looks like they're shooting in the middle of an earthquake. You know?
Okay, so it's not shaky cam because they're trying to do Blair Witch Project all over again.
No, not like that. Not found footage, but no, I get what you mean. I'm not talking about necessarily handheld stuff, even though obviously some of it was shot like that. But you know, it has like it's got that going on all the time, so that they can cut around the violence, so they can get the PG-13 in a story about
like Blair Witch Project.
Government forcing kids to kill each other, you know, and why do the movie that way when Battle Royale already exists? Just do that. That's a better version of Hunger Games anyway. It's the same movie. Really. It also looks like it's going to reset canon. Yeah. If it does, I'm not going to be too much of a fan of it. You know, that I never understand when they do that. It's just that, look, you obviously like what you read or whatever, or if you're trying to remake a movie, obviously you liked what you saw the first time. You're spending all of the money to buy the rights. Do the damn story. Don't change anything. You know, if you're going to do that, just leave it alone.
Actually, wasn't there another? There was two books that there was two books that Roald Dahl did. He did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then he did Charlie in the Elevator or something.
The Great Glass Elevator. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's never been done on film. That story, never.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of. Maybe they're trying to redo the canon and then maybe introduce that one to it. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Anyway, yeah.
Because for those of us who are watching this later on and who maybe aren't as familiar with the books as we are, now if you see the original movie, the Gene Wilder movie, I don't know how the Johnny Depp movie ends because I honestly never saw it straight through. But in the original film, with the film with Gene Wilder, ends the same way that the first book ends. They're still flying around in the elevator.
Yeah,
So
it's like they call it the Great Glass Wonkavator.
The Great Glass Elevator. Yeah.
It's called a Wonkavator in the movie.
Wonkavator, yeah. And the movie ends with them still flying off in the elevator or the Wonkavator, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The second book is what happens after that. It's
I've read a little bit of
where they end up, you know.
I've read a little bit of that book
somewhere, you know.
I think that they went in this second book. Yeah, well, they went back to Charlie's house first, and they brought all of his grandparents and his family into the elevator with him and Grandpa Joe. Oh, you have to go?
Oh,
okay, bye.
Okay, take care. All right, so thank you, Shirality, for joining us here on the panel. Which is fine because I got to think about wrapping this up anyway because it's like it's I've been going all day, and
yeah, well, you've been it's 2 hours now, so
and we're at about 2 hours, which is about usually, but not always, the cutoff point for the show. But yeah, there has been a through line to this show. And once again, it is that physical media is king, and
Mhm.
also that going back to the original material, go out, find the Roald Dahl Wonka books. Go find all of his books. Read all of them. Read The Witches. Find all of them. Just because something is old, or if it's a movie that's in black and white, or if it's some of the movies that Tim discussed earlier, like the Andy Warhol Frankenstein movie. Yeah, it's an odd movie, but it's an original take. Go see it. Seek it out. It's on 4K. Get it. Before somebody decides that they want to cancel Andy Warhol.
Well, Andy Warhol
involved.
doesn't own it. I think it's went back
Well,
to the director.
It did go back to the director, but
Mhm.
my point is say for example somebody decides they want to cancel Andy Warhol for whatever reason, because his name was at one point on that movie could get painted with that brush, because that's how these people operate. They want to cancel Sandra Bullock now because of what's going on with the real life people that were in The Blind Side. The woman just lost her husband. Have some fucking respect.
Mhm.
Leave her alone. She had nothing to do with anything the real life people are involved in. She just did a film version of their lives. However accurate or inaccurate that movie might have been. I just saw it as Oscar bait. I didn't care. But the point is that whenever, and you're welcome, Shirality. Glad to finally meet you. So because, whenever, that's how these people operate, because the whole thing is to kind of separate us out from one another. They want us to stay locked away and in our homes. They want to cancel Sandra Bullock because she was involved with a movie that they've decided they don't like. They want to change the content of a Roald Dahl book or an Ian Fleming novel because they've decided that they find that offensive now. So my advice to everyone out there who's listening is go out, seek the original material. You can find it. My best advice for like an older movie or a book is to find something pre-2016.
Mhm.
For sure, pre-2016. I kind of see those of us that insist on keeping a physical media. I see us as preservationists. That's why I did that episode of Unscripted and said preservation dogs, and I picked those specific people out to be in that thumbnail. I have Robert Meyer Burnett in there for a reason. I have Tom Connors in there for a reason. Because I see them as people who want to preserve that history, because that history is being systematically taken away from us. So if anybody has any takeaway from the show tonight, it's that. Go. You don't need this like Hollywood quote unquote origin story crap. Go read the original story. Watch the, get a copy of the Gene Wilder movie before somebody decides that's offensive. And they already have, with they take offense at the treatment of Augustus Gloop. The whole point of that movie is to tell the kid that he's not healthy. they're not fat shaming. They're telling the kids you're going to get yourself sick. You know, it's just the way Wonka does it is maybe not nice, but you know, you shoot smoke through the
That's
pipe.
to the point, though.
You know, yeah. But you know, that's the point that we're trying to make. You know, and
And I was going to say, if you get the books too, go along with the movie, go for it.
yeah, do that.
Because I know I have all the Star Treks plus all the movies. So I know how it is with reading it, then see what they combined and all that other stuff and what they deleted.
Yeah. But yeah, when I finally get around to, you know, doing my my physical media show, which is basically going to be an extended version of my of the What's on My Shelf segment that I do for Unscripted. It's basically going to be an extended version. He said extended. All right. That's when I wish I had Tom Connors here with the soundboard. But and I did send him a link, but I know he's very busy and he's got a lot.
Yeah.
He's got some editing going on too. So, but and hello, Tom, if you happen to be listening to the show at some point, we miss you here. Hope to get you back sometime soon. But yeah, you know, physical media is going to be the way to go because eventually streaming is going to hit the wall.
Mhm.
And you also have to remember with streaming is that whenever you buy something off, you buy a movie off of a streaming service, you don't really technically own it. They can still, you know, take it away. You know, Apocalypse Now got pulled recently from all of the streaming services. I think there's like one or two that might have brought it back, but there was a time there where they just yanked that movie from all of the streaming services. So anybody who might have bought that movie through a streaming service and didn't have a physical copy, you're going to lose that copy. You no longer have access to it. So, you know, that's why we insist. And look, we understand, you know, money is tight and sometimes these things are expensive. Believe me, I totally get it, you know, but there are other places you can go. I've seen 4Ks available in used bookstores, you know, for like 80% off their normal price. Grab them up. You know, and there might not be as many used bookstores around as there used to be, but you would be very surprised what you can find when you go to a used bookstore. You go to a secondhand store. You go to
Yard sales.
Pawn shops. You'd be amazed what you can find in there for sometimes just $1. You know, I walked into a pawn shop a little while back, just for the hell of it, you know, just to look through and see what they got. And yes, okay, I bought freaking I, Frankenstein, but it was $1. I get that movie is not good at all, you know, except for Yvonne Strahovski and that last scene that he has up on the rooftop. But that's it, you know. I will buy that for $1, you know.
$1 well spent.
$1 well spent, yes. And so, that's all we are asking is go and seek this stuff out, because we are living in a time where there are what I refer to as virtual book burnings taking place. And Bill says he owns that one.
He owns what one?
I Frankenstein.
Okay.
He probably got it the same way I did too. But we're living in a time where these quote unquote virtual book burnings are taking place. You're not seeing it. This is like Fahrenheit 451, where you've got books on pyres and you're just setting them on fucking fire. No, what I'm talking about is censorship. I'm talking about the people who read 1984 but didn't fucking get it. This was not an instruction manual. This was a warning. And I never thought I would see it in my lifetime, but we are living in a George Orwell universe. All right. And this man wrote that book in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
Scary, but true.
So he saw it coming back then. And you got to remember, another thing you got to remember about 1984 was pre-McCarthy era.
Mm-hmm.
With the blacklists. We are now seeing with these quote unquote cancellations, I see that as a modern day version of the blacklist. It's just that it's the people on the other side of the aisle who are now acting in the way that they were accusing people back then of being, if that makes sense. It's like everything has completely flipped. Back then, it was the left saying that the right is trying to hold you down and censor everything. I remember in the 80s, the whole PMRC thing. This is when they wanted to put warning labels on albums, which eventually they did.
Took time, but unfortunately.
Yeah, but remember who spearheaded that? Tipper Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was complaining about conservatives, the religious right. It was Tipper Gore, a Democrat. So take that as you will, and we are seeing what Tipper Gore was doing back then being taken to the nth degree. And they're using this generation that grew up on TikTok to put their message out. These people they refer to as the useful idiots. Which they kind of are, because they don't seem to mind or know that they're being called idiots. That's another thing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
Indeed, they raise women these days and I'm talking usually those under 30. I'm talking about these female Gen Zers. They treat men like shit. I see it. I have seen it every day with my own eyes. I have seen it. how they treat men, what they think of men. Who they see basically as walking wallets. Just wallets to them. Because you see that you kind of get the one spectrum or the other. You get the women who talk down to men, and you got these men who seem to be so busy trying to look like girls. Because they look like girls to me, I'm sorry. Get a fucking haircut. And I'm saying that. I'm turning into like the old man, you know. Get those kids off my lawn. You know, I built this here cruise missile so these damn kids will quit playing that rap music, you know. I'm turning into one of those guys, you know. Get a haircut, hippie, you know. But, you know, it's a real, and I blame my generation too, because we spoiled these kids. We did. Gen X, we fucked up. We spoiled our generation's kids. Now they can't function. And now they're getting steamrolled because of an ideology. And they're getting talked down to because they think they deserve it when they don't. There's nothing wrong with being a man. There's nothing wrong with being a woman. And these women who are going to go out into the real world and they realize that that fourth wave feminism doesn't fucking work in the real world, they're going to get steamrolled too. You know, Euro Toys is saying that China Kid in the modern day and overall 80s is the golden decade. Yeah. Star Wars toy. Indeed. Highly agree with you, Deleted. I'm the one kid on the streets that's like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how some of these kids make it through the day. I really don't. How do you survive in a world like that? You know, my generation didn't take that crap. I didn't take it. Connie, I know you didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't take that shit.
You don't take that shit.
No.
You don't.
If I had kids and they had their own kids, I would suggest them go homeschool them.
Homeschool, absolutely. You know,
I was in public schools. I wish I was in private. I mean, in the homeschooled.
Yeah. Because two things are going to happen. Because I was somebody who was in both private schools and public schools at various times of my life. And the problem with the private schools is they baby you. You are socially promoted. In public schools, you're treated like cattle. And eventually, because there are so many kids in one school, you know, I don't know what your experience was, Connie, but I was one of those kids who was in those 60 kid to a class classrooms. And you can't learn anything in that environment.
No, you can't.
So you have these, I'll use this term, activist teachers. And they were around when I was a kid. I mean, nothing to the extent that they're there now. because they're being blatant about it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're, and this actually happened, I am not making this up. I was once in a school that was in a predominantly black area, where it was basically 6 black kids for every white kid. And as for Asians, you could count them on one hand. Because back then you had the kids coming who are the Vietnamese refugees, who are the Cambodian refugees,
Mm-hmm.
didn't speak English. And if they could, they wouldn't. They just clammed up for whatever their reasons were. Now, when you're in, so you're there's a very distinct possibility that you're going to be the one white kid in the classroom with all these black kids. And a lot of them are from these kind of either a dire financial situation. They don't have both parents anymore. They're being raised by grandparents who have to have 2 or 3 jobs in order to support kids. So when you have a black teacher tell the black kids that unless they can rap or toss around some sort of ball, they're not going to amount to anything, what do you think that does?
A lot.
When the black authority figure that in most cases is the one they have to look up to tells them that, what does that do to their psyche? And then to have that guy point right at me and go, he's going to take it all away from you. Gee, thanks, pal. Put the fucking target on my back, why don't you? Didn't make things easy for me. But now I'm old enough to see it from both sides. That is part of it. It is this psychological game meant to keep us separate. Back then by race, now by gender. How many times do you hear out of these Gen Z women, oh, I'm going to be murdered?
Exactly.
Okay. By who? I'm sitting here thinking, geez, I've got all this killing I need to be doing. Because I'm not too good at it. I haven't been killing anyone. So my question to you, Connie, is what are they talking about? Where is this mentality coming from that these young girls think men are just out to hurt them? Where is that coming from?
Could be a lot in different places taught. Who knows? Or some woman got a bug up their ass saying about this, what men are no good, whoever. Your guess is as good as mine. My mom was in the 60s, went to a few black schools in. She said it wasn't pretty. for her being only one of 6 whites in the whole building. And it was just, I just say it was just terrible. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about too, Stephen.
Yeah. I get it. You know, and you know, the thing that, and I'm with your old toys on this. I do think it is the mainstream media in a lot of ways who are fomenting this, because, you know, like Tom Connors always says, we had racism licked. You go back to the 80s. Who are the big sports stars?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan, right? Who were we listening to on the radio? Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. That's who we were listening to. You want to know what I was listening to when I was in school with all those black kids? I was listening to the rap music like them. It didn't bother me.
After I grew up,
I listened to fucking gangster rap. I was good. There's no problem, you know. But there's always somebody who's going to come along, and they are out to just divide us. And they keep getting put into positions of authority, and they keep getting elected. Don't get me started on that. But
loaded statement.
You know, I feel like we're going backwards. You know, and it feels like it's being done on purpose. You know, it's that whole thing of you will own nothing and you will like it. And yes, YouTube, I am talking about a certain fire of unknown origins that happened in the last week or so, you know, because there's something very fishy going on there. And I'm glad that some YouTubers are diving into that. So thank you. Because we can't go to when I can go on YouTube, when I can go to Newsmax, when I find out about what's going on in my country more from Sky News fucking Australia than I do from the news services here, something's wrong. Why is the freaking Fox News of Australia being more straight with me than the news media in my own country? We are dealing with people who are out to burn this country down. Now freaking literally burn it down. So that they can build this, I'll say it, communist utopia for themselves.
It's like that one show that they're all up in the sky. And the low lives are like us are down below. You have to listen to what we're saying.
Elysium, yeah.
Yeah, Elysium, exactly.
A movie I didn't like when I first saw it, but man, it's starting to make a hell of a lot more sense now, isn't it?
Damn right.
Yeah. So, Neil Blomkamp, because I am sure you are listening, my apologies. I think maybe Elysium was a better movie than I thought it was the first time around. Though I would still like to know why Jodie Foster's voice was dubbed by someone else, but that's neither here nor there. Popular YouTubers have done some really bad shit. Yeah, some of them have. Some of them have, and I am not making excuses for them. And I'm not. I think I have an idea. A couple of the people you mean, Toys, but I'm not going into the whole Chris Chan thing on my show. That's too much of a rabbit hole. I'm not going to go there. But
that's too deep.
That's too deep. But yeah, so we got to be careful here too. Of what we put out there. There's a reason why I age restrict all of my videos, because I go into stuff like this that I don't necessarily want little kids to have to listen to, because they shouldn't have to worry about it. Let little kids be kids.
You let them grow up properly.
Yeah, let them grow up properly, and when they get to be our age, then they can listen to these shows. But it's like you said, the problem is all the kids are seeing this. I mean, exactly, because this whole Gen Z, they're raised on TikTok. TikTok should not be for kids.
No.
I'm not on TikTok. I don't know if there are age restrictions for the videos or not. But if there's not, there should be.
If I remember, I think Facebook has an age, beyond after a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook. I don't know if that's changed or not since then.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think the problem, Toys, is that there are no laws. There are laws, they're just not being enforced. Because the judges don't enforce them, the DAs don't enforce them, the government won't enforce them.
Talk about hell in a handbasket.
We have cops so afraid to do their jobs because they're afraid if they do their jobs that they're going to either get sued or possibly even thrown into jail. They don't want to have to shoot anybody. Why? Because they're afraid they're going to get charged with fucking murder. There was a shooting in my neighborhood a little while back. When the cops finally showed up about an hour later, they half-assed the witness statements. The cop got up and walked away while I was in the middle of giving my statement. Not a word, walked off. Suddenly, I wasn't there anymore. So they go over to the apartments where the troublemakers are. Oh, we didn't do it. Oh, okay, no problem then. Sorry to have bothered you. You are investigating a shooting. The chief suspect just says to you he didn't do it. and your reaction is going to be get in your cars and go home so you can go home early? I actually heard one of the cops say that. Good, I can go home early. That doesn't inspire confidence. I had a bicycle stolen last year. If the cops aren't going to investigate an attempted murder, I know they're not going to go out and find my bike. What's the fucking point of even asking? And that's where we are now. There are laws on the books. They're just not being enforced because the people who are supposed to enforce them are refusing to do their jobs.
And also, in some areas, they're lowering the standards of to get into the police, so they get cops in.
You know, I saw a story a while back where they're actually hiring gangbangers to be cops.
I heard about that.
It's like, hello? The criminals are not supposed to be the cops. What are you doing? You know.
They're not supposed to rule the hen house.
You know, it's the lunatics are running the asylum. Hi, we just opened the Pine Haven Psychiatric Facility. I would like to bring on the head psychiatrist right now, the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs, Freddy Krueger. Freddy, come on in. You are now in charge. Thank you. Oh man,
Hell's bells, man.
Thorazine stat. Anyway.
On that note.
Toy says, lucky I have a bullwhip. Yeah. I did say a half hour ago that we were going to shut this down. I'm sorry. I went off on a rant. Hi. This is now hour 4 of Unscripted. I will continue ranting. Hi. How are you? You might not know me. I'd like to introduce myself at this time. I am a man who is slowly losing his mind. Around and around I go. Where she stops, nobody knows. That woman put a spell on me. You can't start me. You can't stop me. When she begins to rock, I begin to roll. I'm making believe that you still love me. It's leaving me all alone and so blue. I'll always dream, but I'll never own you. Making believe is all I can do. Hi. I am not Social Distortion, but I play them on TV. All right. I think it's about time to end the show. Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm killing Connie. We have to end the show now.
Steven.
All right. All right. All right. I want to thank everybody who is in the chat. Ural Toys, Jedi Bill, JPRPH1, Soundtracks with Birdman, Shirality for joining us in the chat and on the panel, Stephen Walton, aka Ladonis Dragonstorm. All right, I think I got to everybody. So we're going to go around the panel and see if anybody has anything to plug. Tim, do you have anything that you wish to plug, sir?
I just have my chill stream Wednesday afternoons at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern with Monkey Boys Toys.
Okay. Connie.
I just have a couple of videos posted up from I found on an old chip I had for my boys. So I got a couple of them coming up in the next couple of days. For right now, I'm still working on my other projects still for my other channel. So I'm gonna start, upload them and everything else.
Mhm.
How about you?
All righty. Well, I had my other show, Unscripted, earlier this evening. Please check out the brand new episode. It's all about Bob Iger and Disney and what they can do to possibly right the ship over there. I kind of threw my 2 cents in there.
Mm-hmm.
I also did a watch party earlier today with Troy Pacelli, where we watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger action film Last Stand. So check that out. I did a karaoke stream last night. Not my best show, but not the worst. I don't know, up to you. It's gotten some decent response. So
As long
stay
as you
tuned.
have fun, that's all that counts.
All right. That's about it. I just want to remind everybody that these people who say that they own you and can order you around and try and belittle you and try to keep you locked away in your home, these people do not have moral superiority over you. So these people are haters. Do not let them win. I just want everybody to remember that. There is a form of virtual book burning going on. So go out and support physical media. Find first editions of books. Go wherever you can and buy physical media. Jedi Bill saying Western Cinema Sunday will return in September, hopefully. Good news. I co-host that show with him, so that would be good to come back. In the meantime, I'm going to be continuing my watch parties now that I have a little bit more of an idea of what I'm doing in that area. You're going to see more of those from me. Your old choice is saying I'm not on the other side of midnight yet. Well, you're getting there. You're getting really close. All right. So for Connie Cleary, for Tim Hayes, good night.
Thank you.
Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.